Good morning, dear students. So now in this third video, let us study what do you mean by coordination. Think about it. Sometimes while eating, we bite our own finger or tongue by mistake. Second question, sometimes we choke while eating in a hurry. Now, why does this happen? Did you think about it? Yeah. So here, due to lack of coordination, all these things occur. We bite our own finger or tongue, or we choke while eating in a hurry. But then, what do you mean by coordination? Several different organ systems function in multicellular organisms. Their life goes on smoothly if there is coordination between the different organ systems or organs and stimuli in the surrounding. Depending on this, we can say that systemic regulation of different processes can be called control, and bringing about the different processes in a proper sequence can be called as coordination. So you can just mark this definition. I shall read it again. Systematic regulation of different processes can be called control, and bringing about different processes in the proper sequence can be called coordination. If any activity in the body is to be completed successfully, proper coordination between different systems and organs participating at different steps of that activity is necessary. If due to lack of coordination or some other factor, there is confusion at any step, the activity may not get completed. There should not be any randomness at any step. There needs to be proper coordination between internal activities of the body resulting from various factors like body temperature, water level, enzyme level. Okay, you can underline this. Or stimuli arising in the surrounding environment. Proper coordination between various systems of an organism helps to maintain a state of equilibrium called homeostasis, which is necessary for the optimal efficiency of the body. Okay, so you can mark these last three lines for the definition of homeostasis. Now we shall study coordination in plants, but before that, let us just observe a video.
Coordination in plants. What is coordination in plants? In simple words, coordination means a good interaction of movements or response to stimuli. Coordination is the process of correct response to a particular stimulus at correct time. Coordination in plants is basically includes two types of movements. One, independent of growth. Two, dependent on growth. The best example of independent growth in plants is touch me not plant, Mimosa pudica. It is a sensitive plant. When we touch the leaves of the plant, immediately it shrinks and folds the leaves. Again, when we shake, it opens the leaves. In this type of movements or coordination, no growth is involved. It is actually a quick response to stimuli where the leaves move in response to touch. If we observe, the point where we touch is different from the point where movement happens. Another best example is sunflower. The movement of sunflower in response to day and night is independent of growth. Unlike animals, plants does not have specialized tissues or system for conduction of information from cell to cell. The movements of plant depends on growth. These movements are also called as tropic movements, which are slow and the movement is towards or away from the stimulus. Example, the growth of tendril of pea plant. Tendrils are thin thread-like structures on stems or leaves help in climbing. If the part of the tendril is in contact with any object, the tendril to circle around the object and cling to it. when the growth is slow, which is not as rapid as part of the tendril away from the object. Plant hormones. Plant hormones or plant growth regulators are internally secreted chemicals in plants, which helps to coordinate growth development and response to environment. They are synthesized at places away from where they act diffuse to the area of action. Types of plant hormones. Plant hormones are two types. They are 1. Growth promoters, example, auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins. 2. Growth inhibitor, example, abscisic acid. Auxins. 1. Auxin is synthesized at the tip of the shoot. 2. Cells grow longer due to auxins which help plant to grow. 3. If light falls on one side of the plant, auxin diffuses to shady side of shoot and concentration of auxins promotes cell enlargement in the shady region, but the plant appears to bend towards light. 4. Cell elongation and cell differentiation towards light. Gibberellins. It helps in growth of the stem to increase internodes. Cytokinins. 1. Promotes cell division. 2. Present in areas of rapid cell division. Example, in fruits and seeds. 3. Promotes opening of stomato. Abscisic acid. 1. Inhibits growth or signaling to stop growth and seed germination. 2. Wilting of leaves, drooping of leaves. 3. Promotes closure of stomato.
Yes. So I hope you have understood from the video coordination in plants. Now let's see on page 169 coordination in plants. Plants do not have systems like the nervous system or muscular system of the animals. Then how do plants bring about movements? In plants, movements are mainly in the form of responses to the given stimuli. Let us observe the pictures given here below in the figure 15.9. Coordination in plants. Now here in the first picture, you can see the pollen tube is growing towards the ovule. Okay. Now in the second picture, you can see the plant bending towards the sunlight. So it's called as a phototropic movement. Photon means light. And the third movement about the tendrils is called as a thigmotropic response. Okay. So this is directional growth. Now, movement or growth of any part of the plant in response to an external stimulus is called as tropism or tropic movement. So you can mark that definition. I shall again repeat it. Movement or growth of any part of the plant in response to external stimulus is called as tropism or tropic movement. The shoot system of any plant responds to the light stimulus, that is, growth towards the source of the light. The movement shown by the plants towards the source of light is called as phototropic movement. So this paragraph is the definition of phototropic movement. Third, the root system of the plants responds to stimuli like gravitation and water. These responses are called as gravitropic movement and hydrotropic movement. Gravi is towards gravitation and hydro is towards water. So these are the definitions again of gravitropic and hydrotropic movement. Next, movement shown by the plants in response to specific chemicals is called as chemotropic movement. For example, the growth of pollen tube towards the ovule. All the above mentioned movements of plants are related with the growth, hence all such movements are collectively called as growth relevant movements. Now you can see the blue box here, it is deleted. Okay. Now, but in the video, it was mentioned about the auxins, gibberellins and abscisic acid, about the hormones. This portion is deleted here, but I showed you in the video so that it will help you in your future studies. So I hope you have understood these movements. Now let us go to the next page. Now let us observe these various plants. Touch me not plant, Venus fly's trap, okay, lotus plant and balsam plant. Now in this Venus flytrap, this plant eats insects. It is also called as insectivorous plant. Okay. Now on careful observation, it is seen that the plants like touch me not, it's also called as mimosa. Movement occurs at places other than where it has been touched. Hence we can infer that the information about the touch must have been relayed within the plant from one place to another. Plants use electrochemical impulses for transfer of information from one place to another. Plant cells change their shape by increasing or decreasing their water content and thereby bringing about the movements of plants. This we have already studied, that turgidity or shrinking is there. So there is a movement of the plants. Some specific movements of the plants do not lead to plant growth. Such movements are called as growth irrelevant movements. Okay, you can just mark this definition. As a response to the surrounding changes, plant hormones bring about the various movements in the plants. Now here on this page you can see this green box. Do you know? It is totally deleted. Okay, yes. Now let us begin coordination in human beings. As you watch the match being played on your school ground, you will see the control and coordination among the movements of the players. Make a list of all such different actions. So now let us move on to the next page. Now, different processes go on simultaneously in the human body. All these processes need to be effectively and efficiently controlled and coordinated. This is done with the help of two systems. A. Nervous control. Humans can respond to the changes in their surroundings due to nervous control. Impulses are generated in the human body in accordance with the changes in the surroundings. Nervous control plays the important role of empowering the body cells with the ability to respond to these impulses. This ability depends upon the complexity of the organization of the organism's body structure. Unicellular animals like the amoeba do not have a nervous system which produces such impulses and responses. However, multicellular animals like humans have a nervous system to respond to the stimuli. Control and coordination is brought about with the help of special type of cells called as the nerve cells or neurons. Now let us see what are the neurons or the nerve cells. Now neurons or nerve cells, special type of cells which conduct impulses from one place to another in the body are called as neurons. Neurons are the structural and functional units of the nervous system. You can underline it. Nerve cells, the largest cells in the body, human body, may measure up to few meters in length. Underline it, few meters. Nerve cells have the ability to generate and conduct electrochemical impulses. The cells that support the nerve cells and help in their functioning are called neuroglia. Okay, so let me read it again. The cells that support the nerve cells and help in their functioning are called as neuroglia. Nerve cells and neuroglial cells together form the nerves. Now, next paragraph. All the information about our surroundings is collected by the ends or the dendrites of the neurons. I will show you in the picture there. I will explain to you. The chemical processes begins at those ends and electrical impulses are generated which are conducted from the dendrite to the cell body. Now here in this picture you can see the dendrites here. Okay, dendrites, and here this is the cell body and here this is the nucleus. Then you can see the Schwann cells, the axon, the myelin sheath in the picture, the node of Ranvier, and the axon terminal. Okay, you should know to draw this nerve cell also. Now, so here these impulses are then to be transferred from the nerve cell to the next. Now, the impulses that reaches the terminal of an axon stimulates the nerve cell to secrete certain chemicals. These chemicals pass through the minute space called as a synapse. There is a gap between two adjacent neurons and generate the impulse in the dendrites of the next neuron. In this way, impulses are conducted in the body, and these impulses are finally conveyed by the nerve cells to the muscle cells or the gland cells. Now in the picture you can see here this 15.11, the nerve cell and the neuromuscular junction. So the second picture you can see here the presynaptic terminal and the nerve cell, how it comes on the muscle cell here. Okay, now here the synaptical vesicles, you can see vesicles are small sacs which contain some chemical. The synaptic cleft, it's a gap you can say, and post synaptic membrane. So in this gap the messages are sent around, and the either the muscle or the gland they respond. Like suppose for example, when you see a snake suddenly in front of you, you try to run away or you want to beat it or kill it. So this response is sent immediately, and either you run away, that is the leg muscles, it reaches there and the response, and then you start running away, or you want to kill it, you try to hit it with a stick or something, or sometimes you your glands start secreting certain hormones, and accordingly you will take the action. So I hope you have followed this. Now let us go to the next page. Now when an action or a movement is to be brought about in the body, the work of the muscular tissue comes last in the sequence. Most of the muscle cells is essential to bring about any activity. When cells contract to change their shape, movements occur at the cellular level. Yeah, cells are contracting, so it's a cellular level movement. Muscle cells have the ability to change their shape due to the specific type of protein. So the muscles either contract or relax, so due to the special protein. Besides, due to the same proteins, cells become able to respond to electrical impulses of the nerves. Thus, we can say that nervous system consists of well organized network of nerves which can conduct information in the form of electrical impulses from one part of the body to another. Now, you can see that, can you tell? All the three questions are cancelled over there, okay? All those three questions are cancelled. Now, what type of neurons or nerve cells are there? So, we have three types of neurons or nerve cells. According to their function, nerve cells are classified as sensory neurons. Sensory neurons conduct impulses from the sensory organs to the brain and the spinal cord. For example, eyes, nose, skin. These are all your sensory organs. So there are sensory neurons there. Okay, so they conduct the messages to the brain and the spinal cord. Second, motor neurons. Motor neurons conduct impulses from the brain or the spinal cord to the effector organs like the muscles or the glands. Who's going to play the effect? The effector organs like the muscles or the glands. Third type is association neurons. Association neurons perform the function of integration in the nervous system. Integrate means put together, associated, so that whatever necessary action has to be taken will be done. So I hope students you have followed the types of nerve cells and the nervous system. Okay, nervous system types, neurons. In the next video, the fourth video, we will study the human nervous system.